The question today is, how can you make your low end or your bass frequencies mono? Let's dive into it. What is up, you guys? Orlando here with Elisha Record Studio, another video for you. And today we're going to be seeing how can we make our low end or our bass frequencies mono within the mix. And there's a few tools that I use to do this. But first, if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any other video from us. Let's start with the first tool that I use to make my low end mono, and that's gonna be this Vuzi Meter, actually from Klanghelm. This plugin has something that it's really cool, and it's a mono maker. This section right here of the plugin that you can switch on and off. This is a pretty cool thing to have, especially because it has an amount knob control here that you can select to tell the plugin the frequency that you actually want to affect, and it's going to affect everything below that frequency. So let's say I have here 80. Let's put 80 hertz. I want everything mono below 80 hertz. Let's take a listen to this. Let's boost this frequency so you can actually hear what's happening with the stereo feel and with the mono frequencies, okay? If you go overboard, of course, it's going to sound weird because you're going to start taking out the stereo feel from other frequencies, and that will sound bad. So be careful with that. The next tool is obviously an EQ. I'm using Infinity EQ from Slate Digital. What I'm going to do here is actually create a band, and I'm going to create a cut here at about 80 hertz. This is the band mode. And I'm gonna click on it, and I'm gonna select actually the sides. So this is only gonna cut the sides out of these frequencies and below these frequencies. Actually below 80 hertz, it's gonna start cutting out the side frequencies. So let's take a listen to this. If you don't have Infinity EQ, no worries. Cubase has its own frequency plugin, which is actually an equalizer that you can do exactly the same thing. The only thing that you need to do is select here a band, set it up as mid side, as you can see here. Obviously, if you select the stereo, that's not going to work. Please select mid side. And the mid section, just turn it off. Make sure that's off because you don't want to affect the mix, only the sides. And on the sides, make a cut. I have selected here 48. That's going to be just the curve. And I'm going to select here the frequency, which is 80 hertz. So that is going to do exactly the same as Infinity EQ. It's going to cut the side frequencies below 80 hertz. And finally, there's another tool here that I wanted to talk to you about. It's MSW2 by SoundSpot. This plugin is actually a stereo enhancer plus mono maker. It has two sections. It has the top section right here, which you can use to select how far you want to take it on mono or on the sides, or if you want to enhance that above this line right here. And this bottom section right here, it's going to do exactly the same below that line. So let's take a listen first to see this plugin in action. And as you can see right here, below 100 hertz, you can visually see that it's mono. So you don't really need to make anything mono below, but I'm giving you examples on how to do it, of course, with other plugins. But this one, it's awesome because it gives you a visual representation of what's actually happening on the sides and on the mids. Obviously, below 100 hertz, it's pre-mono already. Let's say I want to take it far, and I would never do this actually on a track, but let's say I want to make everything below 1K mono, completely mono. So I'm going to pull this all the way through. And on the top, I'm going to make everything above 1K super stereo. Let's take a listen to what that sounds like. And obviously that sounds super weird. I'd never do that. But as you can see, it's doing a pretty good job on making everything below 1K mono and making everything above way more expanded on the stereo field. And it feels weird. So be careful with this kind of tools because it can get messy. This one I would use only for referencing and making sure that everything is in place. And there you have it. Those are a few of the tools that I use to make my low end or my bass frequencies more mono in case that I need to do that. And remember, if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. You know the drill. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any other video like this one. And until next time, guys, don't stress, do your best, be blessed, forget the rest. See you around.